This is the NFL on EA Sports. There will be plenty of pressure on a pair of safeties who will be counted on to make some big plays. It's the Vikings going up against the Eagles. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth as we turn it over to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Larry. It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look live there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. The scene in South Philly a few moments ago. Boy, the city of brotherly love is fired up. They're saying, fly, Eagles, fly, as they get ready to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. And a welcome in, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, so much gets made about offensive comparisons. Here's a matchup where the defenses may just take center stage.
Yeah, we're usually talking about guys scoring touchdowns. How about the guys who prevent them and change the momentum of the game when they take the ball away? I love those ball hawks in the secondary. People after my own heart.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will take it back only to about the 13-yard line here. First down, Keenum eluding the pressure right. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And now running right through it. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, 87 yards. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. Forbath out to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led onto the field by their 6'6" quarterback, the former Arizona Wildcat, Nick Foles.
Nick Foles is a former Pro Bowl quarterback with the Philadelphia Eagles and a former starter of the team when they were in St. Louis. One other thing about him, you don't want to play him in hoops. He can flat out shoot the three. That's a big-time recruit coming out of high school.
Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Harrison Smith's play has been so good in the NFL that he demands the respect of everyone. And I remember a couple of years ago when we talked about the top safeties, his name didn't come up in the first group. It does now. I remember doing a game a couple of years ago where the Rams were trying a lot of razzle-dazzle stuff. And Mike Zimmer, his head coach, pretty much said, sick him to Harrison Smith, and he ended that in a hurry. He can play close to the line of scrimmage, can also cover deep.
Foles picks this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. Ajayi's going to go. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Ajayi, 59 yards. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he elects not to bring this one out as his guys will take over at the 25. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
That one goes for 36 yards.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Again, it's Cook. And he's got room. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue.
Well, last year, I'm not sure we saw very many of those runs, did we, from the Vikings? I mean, they had the poorest rushing attack in the league.
Just 75 yards per game, but carries like the one we just saw, that'll help bolster that average.
Yeah, certainly, and they tried to beef up the offensive line.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman.
Now a hit, and Foles loses the football. It's out. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
Following the fumble recovery, Keenum. And he's going to have to eat this this one is down he goes. Brandon Graham able to drop him for a loss of 4.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. Nope.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Nigel Bradham in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Now Keenum, flushed out right. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Brandon Graham in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense...
On 2nd down, here's Keenum. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Partners, decision time now. I know it's still just the second quarter, but you have an opportunity to either kick the field goal or go for it and try and score a big-time touchdown. This is why the head coaches get paid the big bucks.
Keenum to throw for it on 4th. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. They gave it to him in search of his 3rd touchdown, but he's denied. And this Eagle defense stands tall down near the goal line. A breakdown by the O-line at the worst possible time. 4th and goal, and it leads to a sack.
And I can just see it now. On the sidelines, they're telling the quarterback, you've got to get rid of it somehow, some way. At least get it in the end zone and give us a chance. If we throw an interception, so what? A sack? We didn't even have a chance.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action and hit them over the top.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
He's going to air one out. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play there for the Eagles on 3rd down. 53 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know they're going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Here's Foles. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time, and it's 3rd down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So on 4th down, here's the veteran left-footed punter Donnie Jones to kick it away. Marcus Sherrill's back deep for Minnesota. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Yeah, simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow him to get into the end zone.
And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 44 yards. Keenum now on 1st down. Flush to his right. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. It's good, and it is now 21-7. Forbath out to kick this one away. It's a very short kick taken by an up man. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
When halftime rolls around in just a bit, we'll send you to Orlando. You will hear the dulcet tones of Mr. Larry Ridley with our EA Sports halftime report.
Does dulcet mean good?
Yeah, it's just something the broadcasters say. It's got to be good, right? You tell me.
Well, it's got to be good if Larry's doing it.
They set up the screen to Ajayi. A gain of 39 that time.
It's hard to play in the NFL now as a running back and not catch the football as well. Jay Ajayi shows what you can do when you have both of those skills.
Good in space, isn't he?
He really is able to catch the ball, and he helps create blocks downfield. A lot of times that's what people miss. It's not just making other guys miss you. It's setting up guys to block those guys downfield with the moves you make, and Jay Ajayi does that very well.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play. Now, that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Shakes off the sack. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Anthony Barr. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now Foles. That ball's caught. Aguilar, right side. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Back to throw. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And the kick by Elliott is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
This will be taken in at the 1. Oh, look at that. And some room to roam now. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Jerick McKinnon, 99 yards. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. I know a lot of special teams coaches, they just want to keep it away from him because that's what he can do.
And others have egos that their players can't keep up with. And they say, challenge him, kick it to him. The way he runs as fast as he is, I wouldn't challenge him at all. I'd do everything possible to keep it away.
He is just a blur when he gets a full head of steam, and he got a full head of steam there. Now Forbath for the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. So that one goes down as a 99-yard kick return for 6 from the 1-yard line all the way to the house on the other end. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. A chance for us now to discuss Jay Ajayi. And the numbers for him, pretty solid, really. He's run it well. He's caught it pretty well, but they're still far behind the 8 ball on the scoreboard.
Not able to use his talents, as you noted, to narrow the gap in the scoreboard. Sometimes it's a bend but don't break, right? He gets his yardage. That's cool, but it's not paying off on the scoreboard. They're not getting the points necessary. And if you're a defensive team, you'll give up that yardage for the kind of lead they have.
That's what I was going to ask you. Sometimes